Welcome to the course on emerging domain in electronics engineering. This is lecture 10, and in this lecture we will see the bipolar junction transistor. So, first of all, the term bipolar. This term bipolar basically stands for the contribution of holes and electrons, and if we compare this with the unipolar devices, we will see later on that unipolar devices are the MOSFET, or the broad way we can say FETs are unipolar devices, whereas bipolar junction transistors are bipolar. Means here in the injection process, the holes and electrons both are responsible at the same time, whereas in unipolar devices either the electrons will contribute toward the current or the hole will contribute toward the current. So, now this transistor is a 3-layer semiconductor device consisting either 2 n type, 1 p type, or we can say 2 p type and 1 n type material. So, based on this, if we will use 2 n type material and 1 p type, then it is known as NPN transistor, and later one is known as the PNP transistor. So, we will see in the working that in NPN transistor the contribution is, the major contribution is due to electrons, and in PNP the major contribution is due to holes. So, we will see the construction of the transistor. So, the construction of the basic transistor consists of 2 PN junctions, and as a result 3 connecting terminals, with each terminal giving a specific name or the specific identity as emitter, base and collector. We can represent this as E, B and C. Now, this is just a representation for a transistor. This is DIP packaging, dual inline packaging for the transistor. Now, after the construction part, we will see what is the doping profile for emitter, base and collector, what is the width, what is the area corresponding to these particular terminals. Before that, the biasing means the battery, which is DC biasing, is required basically to establish the proper region of operation for the AC amplification, because here our basic concern is that the amplification should be performed by the transistor. So, we need to basically achieve a specific region with the help of proper DC biasing, so that we will achieve a maximum AC amplification. So, in the construction we will have the emitter first, emitter terminal, which is the most important terminal. So, this emitter terminal basically contains the charge carriers, either it will be electrons or holes. So, basically this portion, emitter portion, will supply the charge carriers, either electrons or holes, to the other portion of the transistor. Now, if we talk about the doping profile, so the emitter is heavily doped, because our requirement is that maximum current will transfer to the other part of the transistor. So, it has to be heavily doped. So, the emitter of PNP transistors supplies holes, because in P side we are aware that holes are majority charge carriers, whereas for NPN the electrons are majority. Now, we will talk about the collector portion or the collector terminal. So, the portion on the other side of the transistor is known as the collector region. Basically, this collect the charge carriers which are transmitted by the emitter. So, the name is given collector. So, this collector will collect the electrons or hole depending upon the NPN or PNP. If it is NPN, so it will collect electrons. If it is PNP, it will collect holes. Now the doping profile. Now the doping level of this collector will be somewhere between the heavily doped emitter and the lightly doped base. Means we can say the doping profile for collector is moderate. Also, if we will talk about the area, so the area for the collector is very high, because it has to perform the heat dissipation part. Means if the area is very high, so naturally the heat dissipating capability of the device will be enhanced. So we will talk about the base terminal. So the middle portion, this region is known as the base region. We have the PNP and NPN transistor here. So the middle portion between the emitter and the collector is known as the base region. Now base is lightly doped. Why base is lightly doped? Because we want that majority of the charge carriers will reach the collector side from the emitter side. But if the base region is highly doped, means if N will be highly doped, so due to that there will be recombinations of holes from P region to N region or from N region to P region for NPN transistor. So just to minimize the recombination, we need base to be lightly doped, so that the majority charge carriers will reaches towards the collector region. And the function of the base is to control the flow of charge carrier. So this is advantage also, that this is advantage of 3 terminal device over 2 terminal, that we can control the flow between the 2 terminals with the help of, let us say, 3rd terminal. But in the diode we do not have this choice, because the diode is a 2 terminal device. So we cannot control the flow of electrons between the P and N region. After that, this BJT operates in 3 different modes. So based on the junction, we have seen that BJT is having 2 junctions. First is this junction, this is known as JEB, emitter base junction, and this one is known as JCB. JCB is referred as a collector base junction. So in a PNP or a NPN transistor, we have 2 junctions. So based on these 2 junctions, we have the mode of operation of BJT. So first one is a forward active mode. Why it is written as forward active? Because we have a reverse active mode also. The reverse active mode is just it performs the reverse operation as that of a forward active mode. So in forward active mode, the emitter base junction JEB is forward bias and the collector base junction JCB is reverse bias. And the area of application for this particular forward active region is that device is working as an amplifier. Means if we are providing some AC signal to this BJT, the signal will be amplified. So this is the application for this particular mode of operation. Now this cutoff and saturation. Cutoff means when both the junctions are reverse bias, means the emitter base junction and the collector base junction. If both are reverse bias, then it is known as, the mode of operation is known as cutoff. Cutoff means the current nearly equal to 0. Current is equal to 0 and it works as a that the transistor is in a open, the transistor is working as a open switch. Current is 0 means the circuit is open, whereas the next is the saturation region, means here that both the emitter base and collector base junction both are forward bias. when both the junctions are forward biased, we can say that the large collector current flows with a small voltage across the collector base junction, and due to this there is a saturated amount of current and the transistor behave as a closed switch, means there is a flow of current. So, we can say that the BJT can work as a switch also in a cutoff region and in a saturation region. Cutoff means the switch is off, and in the saturation region the switch is on. After this forward active, we may have the reverse active mode also, means the reverse of amplification. The reverse of amplification is referred as the attenuation. So, attenuation, how it will produce attenuation? When this emitter base junction will become reverse bias and the collector base junction will become forward bias. So, that is basically the application for the reverse active region. Now, we will see the operation of, let us say, a PNP transistor in active mode. So, what will happen that we have the in active region, we can say that emitter base junction has to be forward bias and collector base junction has to be reverse bias. So, if we are adding a bias to this particular transistor, to this PNP transistor, so what will happen? We have basically two voltages, first at emitter base voltage and one is the collector base voltage. So, we want to basically see the operation for the transistor. So, I am considering one voltage at a time, means I am just performing this collector base junction open circuit and we are just seeing the effect of emitter base junction. So, here we can clearly see that the P type is connected to positive of the battery and N type is connected to the negative of the battery. So, this emitter base junction is forward bias. So, during this forward bias, we can observe that the depletion region which is formed near this particular emitter base junction, that will be very narrow, because we are already aware that during forward bias the width of depletion region is narrow. Also, due to this, what we can say that this positive of the battery will pressurize the majority charge carriers. What are majority charge carriers? Holes are majority charge carriers in the P region. So, as a result, these holes will move in this particular direction, which are the majority charge carriers. So, this is a contribution of holes during the forward bias region. Now, the direction of current is same as that of the direction of holes. Now, we will see the collector base junction. Now, I am just opening this particular thing, which is the emitter base junction. Now, the collector base junction is nothing but reverse bias. Means the positive of the battery is connected to N type and the negative of the battery is connected to P type. So, as a result, what will happen during the reverse bias region, the width of depletion region increases. As the width of depletion region increases, so what will happen? This positive of the battery will pressurize the holes in the N region. Now, holes in N region are known as the minority charge carriers. So, we are aware of the fact that base is lightly doped. So, due to this, there is a flow of current in this particular direction. So, if we are combining the overall effect due to emitter base which is forward bias and collector base which is reverse bias, so there is a resultant current flows from emitter to collector terminal. We can see with the help of this broad arrow. This broad arrow is the majority carrier current, whereas this thin arrow is a minority carrier current, and both are the contribution due to holes. So, these current basically composed of the emitter current IE, IB and IC. With the help of KCL, we can conclude here that emitter current IE is equal to IC plus IB. But here we can see that at the collector side, we have two currents, one is due to majority carriers and one is due to minority carriers. So it is represented by IC majority and ICO, which is somewhere referred as the minority carrier current or the leakage current. So IC equal to IC majority plus IC minority. So this relationship will be definitely helpful while we will see the operation of common emitter configuration. Now we will see the symbols corresponding to the PNP and NPN transistor. So basically this arrow, the graphical symbol shows the direction of emitter current, or this shows the basically the direction of current, that in a NPN or PNP how the current flows. PNP means the current is reaching towards the base from the emitter, and for NPN we have the current which is emitting from the emitter terminal. So we can say that for PNP the current is entering to the device, and for NPN we can say the current is going out from the emitter terminal. So this is the these are the symbol for PNP and NPN transistors. After that we have the common base configuration. Common base configuration means this word common is due to the fact that the base terminal is common to both the input side as well as to the output side, or somewhere it is referred as the base terminal is grounded. Base terminal is grounded here. So we will see that BJT basically is having three different configurations. First configuration is the common base configuration, after that common emitter configuration and the common collector configuration. So we will see all three configurations. Along this we will see what are the advantages of each and every configuration. So the first common base configuration, here we can say that it is NPN. This is NPN. So emitter base junction means this one, and this is collector base junction. So emitter base junction is forward bias, means the positive of the battery is connected to P side, whereas negative of the battery is connected to N side. So again what will happen? What will happen here? That positive here, we will see again the working of this transistor using two-step method, means first we will see the emitter base junction, after that we will see the collector base junction. So we can say that this is the representation for the common base, that will say that base terminal is common, and we have the emitter current IE equal to IC plus IB, because these IB and IC both are incoming current. So we will see here. So in the active region, here we can say that emitter base junction forward bias, whereas collector base junction reverse bias. So if this happen, then what we can say that the base current is negligible, or we can say that the collector current is nearly equal to IE, IC is nearly equal to IE. During the cutoff region, the emitter base and the collector base junction both are reverse bias, means if this is reverse bias, so we can say that in this particular region the current will be 0, means this circuit will be working as open circuit, and the current which flows from collector terminal to base terminal is ICBO. This ICBO referred as collector to base terminal when emitter is open circuit. ICBO referred as the collector to base current when emitter is open circuit. Now it is clear that ICBO or ICO both are equal to 0, because we are aware that in germanium and silicon, germanium this is of the order of microampere, and for silicon it is in nanoampere, means these are negligible, these values are negligible in comparison with the forward current. And during the saturation region, we can say that both the transistors are forward bias. So, we will see the characteristics for common base configuration. So, characteristics, how the characteristics come, we will see here that this is the transistor emitter, this is base, this is collector. Here we have applied VBE, base emitter voltage. Here we have the current IE. Next, this side we have the collector current IC and the voltage VCB. So, the characteristics are basically, there are two type of characteristics. One is the input characteristic and one is the output characteristics. So, the input characteristics are the curve between the input variables. So, if we will see that what are the input variable corresponding to the common base configuration, then we will see that IE and VBE, these are the input variables, whereas the output variables are IC and VCB. So, the input characteristics will be between IE versus VBE for different values of VCB, for different values of collector to base voltage, whereas the output characteristics will be between IC versus VCB for different values of IE, which is the emitter current. So, first of all we will see that what kind of characteristics we have for input. So, IE versus VBE, we are aware that this base emitter junction, emitter base junction is forward bias. So, due to this forward bias, there the characteristics will be very similar with that of a normal or the conventional PN junction diode. So, the current increases exponentially after a certain voltage. Let us say after this 0.6, initially the current is 0, but once it reaches the new voltage, the current increases, something like this. But if we are increasing VCB, then what will happen? If we are increasing this particular voltage, then we can observe that as we are increasing this particular voltage, as a result of this the current increases, IC increases, and since IC is equal to IE, IC is nearly equal to IE, we have already seen. So, if current IC increases, so as a result the emitter current increases. So, we can observe the characteristics that for a specific value of base emitter voltage, the current increases. For Vc equal to 1 voltage, it will compare with the 20 voltage. So, at 20 voltage the current is high, which is 5 milliampere, and at Vc equal to 1 voltage we will have 3 volt. So, on the conclusion here is that VCB, the IE increases as collector to base voltage increases. So, this is the input characteristics. Next, after this input characteristics, we will have the output characteristics, means IC versus VCB. This is VCB. So, clearly we can say that the active region, in active region we have seen that IC is equal to IE, means if we are drawing the characteristics for a specific value of IE, the IC will be fixed. So, if I equal to 0 means the collector current is also 0. After that, when I equal to 1, the collector current is also equal to 1. Similarly, as we are keep on increasing the value of IE, the value of IC increases, and these values are equal. So, this region is basically referred as active region. Now, the region when the collector current becomes 0, this particular region is known as the cutoff region, where the collector current is 0. After that, we can see the saturation region also, means if this collector base voltage VCB is somewhere less than 0, means the collector will be, the base will become more forward bias in comparison with the collector. Then what happens, the current increases exponentially, because the junction will be, collector base junction will become now forward bias. Once the collector base junction will become forward bias, the current increases exponentially. So, we will see this kind of behavior in the saturation region, the current increases exponentially, something like this. So, these are the input and output characteristics corresponding to the common base configuration. After that, we have the current gain alpha. Now, this current gain is basically referred as the ratio of output current by input current, and we are aware in our last slide that the output variable here is the collector current and the input variable is the emitter current. So, the current gain for the common base configuration will be IC by IE, means the output current by input current. So, this is in DC mode, means when the DC voltages are applied, and these values we are aware of the fact also that IE is equal to IC plus IB. So, IE is definitely greater than IC. So, this alpha DC is, we will say that alpha DC is less than 1, means it is between 0.90 to 0.98, and ideally the value is 1. Also, this alpha AC means if we are applying some sinusoidal signal, then we will have the del IC by del IE, means there will be change in IC by IE at a constant VCB. So, this is the current gain, the AC current gain as well as the DC current gain for the common base configuration. These are the references. Thank you.